Welcome everyone. I'm Debbie House, Editor-in-Chief of Retail TouchPoints. And today I'm here with Tom Peterson, who is Retail Industry Leader, Enterprise Business for HP. Welcome and thanks for joining us today, Tom.
Thank you, Debbie.
So Tom and I today are going to discuss some retail trends and basically what HP is up to these days. And I'll just start out by asking you, Tom, to talk a little bit about your overall perspective on the retail industry from HP's point of view and kind of where you see, the trends moving the retail industry.
Well, at HP, we have a pretty strong point of view about what we think are imperatives for the retailers today, particularly as they run the last mile of this economic downturn marathon that they've been running for the last few years. First of all, we don't think this economic downturn is going to be over anytime soon. We think there's probably still another 2 or 3 years left in this economic recovery, and for that reason we think there's some very important things that retailers need to step up to. The second imperative is we believe that as the world is becoming more connected, we think it's important for retailers to embrace this connected world, this social network that they're operating within, and become part of that. And to that extent, we think those are two very important issues that are shaping the way decisions are going to be made at retail. The economic recovery and the fact that we're operating in a very connected world, and frankly that our shoppers are much different than they've been in the past. With that in mind, we have some very, very specific strategic activity that we have going on at HP in the retail industry.
Okay, and so a little bit more specifically, what do you think are some of the key trends that are driving the retail industry today? And I'm sure, a couple of those you might touch on mobility and also social media.
Sure, let's talk about those things. First of all, there are a number of transformational activities that are going on in the retail industry right now. Whether it's mergers or acquisitions or divestitures or changing business models, we feel that it's very important for Hewlett-Packard to be well positioned to help enable retail transformation today. This could involve everything from application transformation to IT outsourcing to modernization of IT infrastructure, but all of those things have to be done within a framework of affordability. As I mentioned in the onset, we don't think this economic recovery is over, and it's not going to be over anytime soon. So we believe that right now, retailers are focused on delivering value now, and they're focused on investments that have the ability to generate incremental sources of revenue in an affordable environment. So what we seek to do at HP around business transformation is help our retail clients transform their business in such a way that they can modernize and take cost out of the traditional IT infrastructure and use those cost savings to deploy them to investments that enable them to differentiate themselves in a very challenging economic environment, in a very challenging retail environment. So job number one for us, Debbie, is really all about helping to enable those retail clients of ours through retail transformation.
Okay, so drilling down a little bit and sort of bringing together the whole concept of the economic climate over the past few years, how has HP strategized to help retailers get through that time and then come out and be successful in the future?
Well, there's 3 or 4 things that we have a very strong point of view on, and let me be very specific about each of them. First of all, we think the store matters. It matters more now than it ever has. As this economic recovery starts to be realized, we think that the shopping experience in the store means more now than it ever has before. We've talked in the past about the way people shop today. They have very many different shopping venues that they can go to, whether they're shopping for home improvement or for grocery or for apparel. Customers are very discerning. And when they reach that store, we feel it's actually very imperative that that shopping experience be an incredible and a compelling shopping experience. More important now than it's ever been before. What does that mean? It means operational excellence in the store. It means digital signage that directs the customer to where they need to go. It involves rapid, efficient, and low-cost, flexible point-of-sale options. And ultimately, providing that shopper with an experience in the store that is a promise that's been realized, if you will, through the merchandising and the marketing of the retailer. So that the assortment is right, the SKUs are right, the product placements are right, and the execution at store level, whether it's signage or sales execution or checkout, all of those things have to be operationally very, very efficient. And we feel we're uniquely positioned at Hewlett-Packard to help enable that to happen in the stores.
Okay, great. So are many retailers still hindered by legacy infrastructures that are sort of holding them back, keeping them from being able to fulfill some of the strategies and ideas that you just mentioned, and how is HP helping in that area?
Yeah, I hesitate to throw sort of a blanket over all retailers, but I would say there are a significant number of retailers in North America that through this economic transformation that we've been through in the last few years, or through acquisitions or divestitures, have ended up in a situation where they have IT infrastructure, legacy applications that are not fit for purpose to the business that they're in today. At HP, we feel that we are uniquely qualified to work with those retailers that have a very challenged IT legacy environment that they would like to modernize into a new environment, and do that in a manner that actually takes cost out of the existing infrastructure. You know, I tell my team the best client that we can look for is a retailer that has a legacy IT implementation that's not meeting the current needs of the business, where there is a desire to enhance or improve the current customer relationship or the go-to-market strategy at retail, and where there's also a challenging IT budget environment. You know, these wouldn't be sort of intuitively obvious, but in our company, we look for clients that have challenging IT legacy environments that don't fit their current needs, where there is a desire to execute at retail in a new and better fashion, and where there is stress in the IT operation, because we feel we're uniquely positioned to help retailers execute in that kind of an environment and use the cost savings associated with that IT modernization to help differentiate themselves in the marketplace.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about some of the most effective ways that retailers can aggregate the consumer information that's coming in from all the different sources and turn it into actionable data?
Absolutely. We're very excited about our Enterprise Information Systems group within HP, our former business intelligence team, and what they're doing to help retailers all over the world. We believe very strongly that sort of the art, if you will, of business intelligence or developing loyalty analytics or predictive analytics, we feel we're very uniquely positioned to do that for our retail clients. But we think it starts with making sure that the databases that are within the environment are properly defined and properly developed, and in many cases consolidated. We think accurate consolidated databases are an appropriate early step in that process. We also think that then evolves to a change in the way that the data is evaluated, whether it's evaluated from loyalty card data or from structured data sources such as scanned POS, but it also needs to include new sources of data, unstructured data sources, clickstream data sources. It is the combination of these sources of data on top of a consolidated database that is the foundation for doing highly effective business intelligence or development of incentive and reward systems, commonly referred to as loyalty programs. The next stage after that is the modeling that allows us to do predictive analytics and really starting to pinpoint where the targeted marketing activity should occur so that retailers can execute and realize the marketing campaigns that they're looking for. So we're really excited about what we've developed by way of acquisition and what we've developed internally within our business intelligence practice, and really helping to make a difference in the loyalty analytics space as well as the predictive analytics space.
Great. Finally, a topic that is constantly on retailers' minds for various reasons, security and compliance. And
right.
How is HP addressing those concerns in today's environment?
Again, very exciting place for us at a time when it's sorely needed in the retail industry. And it's not just about PCI compliance. It's about developing systems that don't have flaws. It's about eliminating intrusion. It's about creating a more secured environment. If you look at the Hewlett-Packard Company and the assets of the company, from Tipping Point to ArcSight to WebConnect to the assets that we have assembled, some of these assets are software assets that enable systems management. Others are software assets that literally, during the development process of new applications, eliminate or reduce the possibility of intrusion on new applications. And we actually have appliances that we have available to us through our acquisition of Tipping Point that literally stand guard, if you will, over the process of outside intrusion. It is the combination of all of these assets and others, as well as our intellectual property and our great people at Hewlett-Packard, that enable us to go into the marketplace with solutions for retailers that really can help to improve on the secured environment and to minimize the security intrusions.
Great. All right. Well, Tom, thanks again for joining us today, and thanks to our viewers. Have a good day.
Thank you.